Arsenal are set to bid for Aston Villa midfielder, Brazilian international Douglas Luiz, who I think genuinely would be an unbelievable signing for them. According to reports, Alvarez wants a move away from Manchester City, and are Manchester United about to bid for Everton defender Braithwaite? We've got so much to get into. Big up to every single person who's been watching and supporting this channel. We are close to 8K subscribers. If we get 400 likes on this video, that would be absolutely unreal. Now, Arsenal. Yes, we are speaking about Arsenal. We're going to start with Arsenal. Douglas Luiz, an interesting one. An interesting one. He was linked to a move for Arsenal about 18 months ago. Also linked to Tottenham, and I was absolutely gutted that we didn't sign him. I was gutted because I think in terms of the actual number 6 role, he's not necessarily a number 6, he's not necessarily a number 8, but he can play both roles very, 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 very well. Now, of course, Aston Villa had a very good season. They got back into the Champions League for the first time in years and years and years. He played 35 games last year, 9 goals, 5 assists, 14 GA in 35 in the Premier League. He played 3 in the FA Cup. He played 12 in the Conference League. He played 1 in the League Cup, and he played 2 in the Conference League qualifiers. An absolute machine, close to 53 games last season, right? Contract expires June 30th, 2026. He's been at Aston Villa since 2019. Obviously, come out of City's academy. He went on loan to Girona, and he joined from Manchester City to Aston Villa. He's been linked to move to AC Milan, Juventus, Arsenal, Real Madrid. Had a potential link from a Spanish outlet, newspaper. In terms of Douglas Luiz right now, in terms of his position, I think he's one of the best players in the Premier League in that out-and-out defensive midfield role. He, of course, can play the number 8 role. And why I think this would be such a great signing for Arsenal is because Mikel Arteta loves versatility. He loves versatile players who can play a number of positions. Now, Douglas Luiz, overall 26 years of age, Brazilian international, very, very, very good stats in terms of the overall average numbers he gets on a basis. He's top 16% for expected goals and goals overall. His defensive stats aren't bad either. Assists, he's top 22% of players in Europe. Expected goals, top 15%. Shot creating actions, very, very high. Passes attempted, very, very high. Progressive carries is very high for a DM. The defensive stats in that role, though, aren't the best. But I think majority of last season, he kind of played in between a number 6 and an 8 role, so he wasn't always defending. Now, when you look at his players he's being compared to, the likes of Bruno Guimaraes, who is also linked to an Arsenal move. Then you've got the likes of Rodrigo de Paul, Nicolo Barrea, who is a top player, Chanoglu from Inter Milan. Somehow Ross Barkley's on there. But very, very, very good stats overall. And I think he would be a brilliant signing for Arsenal. The problem is that price tag. That DM role is so, so important for Arsenal. If they want to go again, they want to challenge for the Premier League again. Mikel Arteta said they are ready to keep on moving forward. Now, as it stands right now, Bruno Guimaraes has a £100 million release clause. Douglas Luiz is probably going to be in the region of 75 to 80 million pounds because as it stands, Aston Villa are not in a position where they need to sell. They're just not. As it stands right now, I think Douglas Luiz could be a top player for Arsenal. I think they're going to have a very strong transfer window as well as I do City and Liverpool. But if Arsenal can bring in the likes of Benjamin Sesko and the likes of Douglas Luiz, I think they will be right up there. Douglas Luiz or Bruno Guimaraes, who suits Arsenal more? In terms of the way he plays, I've always preferred Douglas Luiz. They're very similar profiles. They're very similar players. Of course, they're both going to be playing in the Copa America this year, so it will be one to watch. But, they've both got 14 or 15 GA. Villa overall probably had a better, I think Douglas Luiz overall, probably had a better season playing for Villa, not Villa. And Douglas Luiz's contract expires 2 years before. His contract expires June 2026, whereas Guimaraes June 30th, 2028. And that €100 million release clause is a little bit steep. Now, Guimaraes being linked to a move to Manchester City, Al Ahly, PSG, Juventus, and Bayern Munich. Whereas at the moment, the likes of Douglas Luiz really is only being heavily linked to a move to Arsenal. It's going to be a fascinating transfer window, this. Not just for most clubs in the Premier League, but Arsenal in general. They are being linked with some top players. Like they really are. So let me know your thoughts down below if you haven't already on Douglas Luiz. Now, various reports coming out saying that he's not being linked to a move away, and various reports saying that he wants kind of first team football. So it's a very difficult one, this, for Julian Alvarez, because as it stands right now, the likes of Chelsea are being linked. The likes of Manchester City have come out and said they don't want to let him go. Julian Alvarez at the moment is heavily being linked to a move to Chelsea, and I think that probably is the most realistic, place to sell him. Of course, Chelsea and Man City have got a very, very good relationship when it comes to selling players. You know, the likes of Kovacic went to City, Sterling went to Chelsea, Cole Palmer went to Chelsea. You know, and I do think right now, if he signs to Chelsea, that takes them back up into Champions League qualification for me. Like right now, Chelsea need an out-and-out outlet. They need a number 9 who is, you know, aggressive, who is can various positions. And if you put, you know, the likes of Alvarez in that team with a Cole Palmer, with a Christopher Nkunku, all of a sudden, you know, they're starting to look up there. It's just how are they going to get on with the likes of Enzo Maresca? And Julian Alvarez at this moment in time is a £100 million player. No question about it. 20 goal contributions in 36 games. He's won the biggest trophies you can. World Cup, Copa America, Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup. He has won it all. His record in a Manchester City shirt speaks for itself. 103 games, 56 goal contributions. 12 GA in 17 in the Champions League. 3 GA and 2 in the FIFA Club World Cup, 30 goal contributions in 67 games in the Premier League. He is just a top player. In terms of his contract expires June 30th, 2028. He can play right wing. He can play as a second striker. He has played left wing, but we all know his best position is in that number 9 role. And as it stands right now, I think you're talking a monumental bid to get him out of a Manchester City shirt. I think right now, anything between 100 to 150 million pounds is probably what you're looking at for a Julian Alvarez, which is absolutely obscene amount of money. You know, the transfers are getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, in terms of a Julian Alvarez, in terms of his stats, he's top 6% for non-penalty goals, top 6% for non-penalty XG, top 7% for total shots, top 15% for assists, pass completion, top 15%, NPXG, he's top 6%. You know, the players he's compared to on the stat websites are obviously Foden's, your Palmers, your Salahs, your Ezes, your Sanes, your Rafinhas, top players. And as it stands right now, he is, for me, not far off that world-class tab when you look at his overall numbers. And I think because they've got an Erling Haaland in a Manchester City shirt, I don't think he gets nowhere near the level of respect he probably should get. So make sure you go down. Let me know your thoughts on Julian Alvarez to Chelsea. Now, Braithwaite is another one. You know, another one. He's in this market. He is probably, or Branthwaite, sorry, not Braithwaite. Braithwaite used to play for La Liga, but Branthwaite, sorry, in general, interesting one because Jared's 21 years of age. I was disappointed he didn't get the England call up. I'm going to be completely honest with you because I think he has got all the potential to be a top player. 35 games in the league last season for Everton, 8 yellow cards, 3 goals. Can play left-sided centre-back, can play right-sided centre-back, but of course he is left-footed. So that left-sided centre-back role fits him like a glove. Contract expires June 30th, 2027. Last contract he signed was 6th of October, 2023. He's been heavily linked with a move to Manchester United. And I think where Man United are going right now, I think he would be a statement of intent that they are moving in the right direction if they can bring in a Jared Braithwaite. He's on 35,000 a year. His tackles, top 20% of all the players in Europe based on 3,116 minutes. Top 18% for aerial duels, top 17% for blocks, top 21% for clearances. Genuinely, I think he has got all the potential to be a top centre back. He reminds me of a young John Stones when John Stones was at Everton. And I think right now he will go to the very top if they've got the right manager around him, the right coaching, in the right system. He could be absolutely brilliant. He's on £35,000 a week. At Everton, Man United could quite easily put him on £135,000 a week. He'd get a massive upgrade. And in that Man United team, with the likes of Rafael Varane on his way out, you know, the likes of Harry Maguire being linked to move away, the likes of Lindelof potentially leaving as well, you bring in a Jared Braithwaite and you put him next to a Lautaro Martinez, and you've got a very good centre-back partnership. I also believe he's probably got capabilities and the fundamental parts of his game to play as a left-back if the injuries did get so bad. So, as it stands right now, I think they are in a very strong position in terms of signing him. And I do think he will be an unbelievable signing for Manchester United if they can get it done. Like I said, the only problem is he's probably going to be an £80 million player in this market. I don't know if he's got a release clause. Some people have said he's got an £80 million release clause. You know, he's had loan spells at PSV, at Everton, at Blackburn, at Carlisle United, and he did actually join in 2023 from PSV. So I think just based on the way he plays, he will be a top player for Manchester United if they get it done. Let me know your thoughts down below if you haven't already, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you for watching.